A revolutionary feature of follow recoil caused a bit of a fuss with the CS fandom. The reason is that the setting can potentially change and simplify shooting in Counter-Strike. This way, Valve wants to attract more new players who are not eager to spend thousands of hours honing their recoil skills. In short, they want shooting to be so easy, even a penguin can do it. But does it really facilitate and improve our aim? Does it have any faults? What weapon doesn't work on best? What do experienced players, as well as ordinary ones, think about it? Hello Predators, it's Multi-Alexei, and we'll try to figure all of this out in today's video. In theory, follow recoil is rather simple. The name itself implies that after enabling the feature, your crosshair will move with the recoil. But how can it help beginners? To understand this, let's recap the mechanics of shooting in CSGO. Theoretically, it's fairly simple here too, but in practice, it's a different story. For instance, let's move our crosshair onto the head of this legendary goose and fire. As you can see, the first two bullets hit roughly where I aimed, but the rest went as far up and to the side as possible. That's because shooting in CS has the mechanics of real-life weapons. Because of recoil and bullet spread, your weapon never fires all your bullets into one spot. But don't get upset just yet. We can control and predict where our bullets go after firing a shot, because each weapon in Counter-Strike has its own unique spraying pattern. There are patterns that give us insight into how to deal with recoil issues in different types of weapons. For example, in a professional game, you may see players pull the crosshair slightly down, or from one side to the other. They do this to compensate for recoil and improve their accuracy. It sounds fairly easy, just drag your mouse down, as is shown in this diagram, but in reality it's altogether different, especially in the heat of a gunfight. Players spend countless hours practicing recoil. It poses a hell of a challenge. Most new players give up quickly and leave the game that is difficult to win. It turns into a disaster for Valve, because the fewer players actually play the game, the less money the company makes. That is unacceptable, especially when their competitor Valorant gets more long-term players each day. They needed to make decisions, and follow recoil is what they came up with. Now, thanks to this feature, new players won't have to look for these gorgeous things, study them, and train for hours with the certain maps to learn to control splash patterns of their weapons. All they have to do is make sure that their crosshair stays on the enemy. It'll give all the visual information in real time, so you can see and adjust your aim straight away. This makes recoil control easier and allows you to get back to accurate shooting more quickly. But this doesn't mean that by enabling follow recoil, you'll automatically become the best player, as spray patterns, movement and other factors still affect shooting. So, if you notice the crosshair moving beyond the avatar, it means that the bullet spread has started, and you should drag your mouse down to keep it on the head of the enemy. Perhaps this explanation has already upset all the new players, while calming down the experienced gamers. All in all, there's more to remember when using this feature. First of all, additional movement of the crosshairs can create visual noise and distract the player, especially in situations with a significant recoil or quick shots. Secondly, experienced players used to static crosshairs may need time to adapt to a moving crosshair and learn how to use this new information effectively. Thirdly, crosshairs don't usually move in real life, so adding motion to it can have an unrealistic effect. And lastly, follow recoil doesn't work on every weapon. The firing speed of AWPs or shotguns is very low, and they usually shoot straight in the middle, so the feature doesn't affect them. This begs the question, which weapon this feature works with best. I'll start with guns. When checking each one, I realized that this function doesn't suit them. They don't have much recoil, except for the deagle of course, so this feature gave me no advantage. Plus the shaking crosshairs only interfere. They have a different problem with the deagle. Look at what happens to its crosshairs after a shot. It takes forever for it to go back so that I can aim again. Why the hell is it even there then? Without follow recoil, I can aim at the target straight away without waiting for my crosshair to come back when it feels like doing so. Speaking about weapons with a very wide spray patterns, such as the AK-47, M4A4 silencer, Galil, etc. This feature is very useful, especially for long-term spray. I have plenty of time to adjust and move my crosshairs back onto the enemy, which is really cool because sometimes it's very easy to lose control of where you are while using recoil. But that's not all. Look at how this option works on weapons which have extended spray. With such machine guns as a Bison, MAC-10 or MP9, your accuracy will remain quite high despite movement. It's incredible. Don't even get me started about Nego with its 150 effective bullets, we can become unbeatable by overwhelming enemies with accurate shots. By understanding this incredible advantage, new players can stop exploring other weapons. But these are small things. The bigger risk is access to the new feature. In case you didn't know, CSGO considered follow recoil a cheat, and it was only accessible on training servers, whereas in CS2 it can be enabled in settings menu. It means that it's okay to use this advantage during official matches as well. This innovation can drastically change meticulous shooting mechanics and skills hierarchy in Counter-Strike. Shooting can become secondary if everyone can easily guess the code for perfect aim. In short, follow recoil can destroy the game we all know so well. This is what experienced players are afraid of. For example, Vorel is worried about potential long-term effects for gameplay if they keep follow recoil in the game. He knows that this feature definitely solves the problem with the new gamers, but he believes that this changes the feel of the game. For him, the best gaming process is the one that allows you to control recoil and experience every weapon. Jericho complained about this feature quite emotionally, while Shroud called it the weirdest feature in the world. Our player and experienced Captain Topa also shared his impressions about this feature.
Привіт, хижаки! Я гадаю, багато вже з вас чули про таку функцію у CS2, як Crosshair Follow Recoil. Це вмикається у налаштуваннях Game Crosshair Follow Recoil Yes. Як це працює? Ваш приціл рухається за кулями, які вилітають з вашого гану. Якщо одразу сказати, це буде комфортно або ні, після CSGO і після того, як таких функцій не було, це дуже незвично. І це виглядає якось дуже незвично, але можливо для початківців, котрі тільки починають грати, для того, щоб звикнути і додати, скажімо так, пам'ять до руки, як цей спрей працює, можливо, це буде корисно для вас. Але я б цією функцією не грав. Наприклад, у близьких дистанціях для мене це дуже некомфортно. Так само стріляєте по тапчику, приціл рухається, я не думаю, що це буде зручно для вас. Тому вирішуйте самі, я б цією функцією не користувався. Вболівайте за нас, play well.
So, everything is clear when it comes to experienced players, but what about regular people? In short, on Reddit players had different reactions. According to some, this ruins the game and reduces the actual skill level and competitiveness of everyone in combat. Others claims that it's very useful, as players can study the recoil pattern with a follow recoil option, and then turn it off for normal play. In general, what we can draw from it is that there are two camps, and if one of them wins, for example, if most players like this feature, then the developers will keep it. Of course, pro players will find it of little use. They can even find it detrimental, but new players will benefit from it, at least until they control their spray. What do you think about the new feature Follow Recoil? Will it destroy what we love or benefit all players? I look forward to your comments. Also, before I forget, I want to announce the next video. It'll be about when in CS2 coming out. So if you don't wanna miss this or other videos about Counter-Strike, leave a like, subscribe to our channel Ikla, and root for our players. As always, it was Malta Alex, and see you in the next video, Predators!